carnivorous cryptid or prehistoric primate, the Sasquatch, skunk ape, or Chinese urine undoubtedly mystifies unreluctant researchers. In this episode of the Erich Andreas Unexplained, I present to you the Sage of the Sasquatch. Go, Ray.
Hey, Sasha Khan, I guess it kind of figures that you think that Bigfoot footage is real. You've never been to, right?
Well, lots of academics think it's real, Ray.
Yeah, but you ain't one of them. Hey, Andreas, do they have a Bigfoot or a skunk ape back home in Mongolia?
Never been to Mongolia, Ray.
I've never been to Mongolia, Ray.
Thanks for calling in, Ray. Thank you.
Thanks for calling in, Ray.
Real mature.
Oh, suck it, Mongo.
It's not even fair. "1967. Where were you? Where were you? Where were you?" I was actually, 1967, I was negotiating a coral reef off the coast of Guatemala with an albino alabaster.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Let's go his line.
So we will be discussing some cryptid lore on this episode of the Erich Andreas Unexplained, and we will specifically start off by briefly going over the tragic death of two individuals that spent Christmas Day in Gifford Pinchot National Forest in Washington State, I believe. The two Portland men who ended up dead. And after a 3-day excursion or missing for 3 days. And it's a very, very sad thing. They, the local authorities said that they died of exposure and being ill-prepared, but it was also stated by their family members that they were going in search of Bigfoot, and it was going to be a day excursion, so they'll prepare because they weren't planning on staying the night. And the funniest thing about this story is, as of today, when we recorded it, they are not revealing the identities of these two poor souls that were found dead. And it's a very, very sad thing. And I would like to think that there would be some solace in saying they discovered something, or maybe there was something government-oriented or something more sinister than even a Sasquatch encounter that befell these two poor fellas. Yes, what do we think about the disappearances?
Sadly, the likely answer is the forest did all the work.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That area is supposed to be very densely wooded. The weather is supposed to change at the drop of a hat, and I just think they just were not prepared. It might have even been on a whim that they decided to go search for Sasquatch, but you never know. I don't know why they're not releasing the identities of these fellows. Maybe it's some embarrassment by the family on, two grown men going out on an excursion like this. I don't know, but it's a tragic story. And on they left, I believe, on Christmas Eve, no less. Yeah, so very sad, troubling time for the families.
It's hard to imagine what could have been so severe about the exposure that them in the winter time going into the woods in Washington State where it's cold. Okay. Why, even a 1-day excursion, they wouldn't have a way to be prepared for some sort of weather. I mean, it's winter time. So, what happened? Did they fall off a cliff? Because that's what happens to a lot of people when they die hiking and whatnot, is because they're on cliff sides. They fall off and then their body, I don't want to be too graphic, but this happened to one of my best friend's friends, I did meet her a few times before that, and hearing about this even shook me, and I didn't have an emotional attachment to her. It was so shocking. They didn't find her body for days, but what they decided happened after analyzing things when they finally found her. They knew she fell off a cliff. She fell off a tall cliff trying to take a photo on the edge. Oh. Her two friends were with her, and they were taking the picture. And this was in Washington State as well. And her body, she was only 21, rolled down the cliff, and they just literally could not find, because they were so high, they could not find her body for days and days. And they ended up finding it.
Selfie?
No, they were taking a picture of her.
Oh, of her. And she was, they watched her.
She was a daredevil type. You know, she was always like a bad girl. I'm going to stand around the edge of the cliff. I don't care. And they had been drinking. They had been probably enjoying some other recreational substances.
Oh, yes.
And honestly, even sober, that's stupid. But what can you say? We've all done stupid stuff like that. You wouldn't think that it would be you that gets unlucky enough to lose your balance. Like a log, like a hollowed out log.
Oh.
And of course, that was a very horrible sight.
Speaking, that's terrible. I remember
just saying, like, what happened to these hikers that was so severe that they passed?
I will tell you, I did something very similar. I was so stupid. And this was years and years ago, and I was so pleased with myself about what great shape I was that I could find any little excuse to show it off to girls.
Why not?
Yeah, I know. So do you remember Cliffhanger, the movie Cliffhanger?
Yes.
You get into that. We should wait for Grimmhauser's movie moments on this, but so Cliffhanger came out, I had watched it a bunch of times, and we were going camping, and it was my girlfriend and a bunch of her friends. And I remember I made the ascent up this rock face, and it's the funniest place. We went to a place called the Hoh River. So my girlfriend at the time and all of her friends, the Hoh River, how appropriate, right? And so I climbed so far up, and I was half in the bag.
So far up what?
This rock face. Rock face.
Oh.
And I was just looking for an opportunity. I was young, very young, still so stupid. Looking for an opportunity where I could hang by one arm. Oh my! But I couldn't find that. But I climbed so far up. At least I thought it was far up.
You're trying to Stallone that, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
And I climbed so far up that I did not realize how high I was up and how I was going to get down. And I thought, all right, someone's going to have to call Rocky Mountain Rescue.
That would have been so embarrassing.
And so what I did is one of the girls, and she was half in the bag as well, I told her to see how deep that river is. Go out there. And because I was going to have to jump. And it really was not that far.
Okay.
Yeah, it was not that far.
It feels like it when you're up.
It was far enough that when I did jump, I thought I broke my tailbone and ruined the...
oh, shit.
Yeah, but I didn't. But, you land and then you land...
You literally broke your ass.
and that's the thing about it is that... Because that's exactly what I had planned on doing that evening.
Breaking your ass?
Breaking your ass?
Breaking some.
Breaking some ass.
With all those Sheilas there. But anyway, that's
clarification.
That's a difference. I want to get off track there.
But after that, no one wanted to anymore.
Anyway.
Either that ass was getting broken.
So back to Sasquatch. This is an enduring legend, centuries old, native lore. But before we get into this and the Patterson Gimlin film, let's get into Grimmhauser's movie moments on this specific subject.
All right, Bigfoot. Let's talk about Harry and the Hendersons. So, one of John Lithgow's films back in the day, part of those, what do you call them? Station wagon family movies, in the same vein as anything Chevy Chase ever did in his life. So just think about that for a second, He's driving to, Christmas, he went to Vegas. But John Lithgow went one better, he hit a Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. Now, was this in revenge for some other, imagined slight? I don't know. But John Lithgow, you do your thing, man. I respect it. The movie starts with just that, them hitting Bigfoot. And then taking it home thinking it was dead, but not thinking to sell it to science, whatever. And then finding out he's alive. What? And then, some Frenchman starts wanting to hunt him down. You know, I mean, croissants wasn't enough for this guy. He
my
wanted to
God.
kill the Bigfoot. No more than that will you get for this movie. Watch it yourself, but an enjoyable ride all the same. John Lithgow's the only notable name in the movie as far as I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, I dare you. But all the same, that's it for you. And if you really want like an honorable mention, Missing Link, you know, of Leica fame is also a good film to see. But I usually don't mention claymation films. Oh, sorry, stop motion films.
Oh, that's what it is?
It's a stop motion film.
Oh, okay, all right.
Leica Studios is famous for that. If you guys remember Coraline.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Every following movie.
Coraline, it's so scary.
Yes.
Great.
And that's Neil Gaiman's story, which is excellent. Which is way scarier if you never read the book. Oh my god, it's scary. But The Missing Link continues all that. Pretty much this explorer dude, you know, he wants to join this gentleman's club of dudes, you know, who say that they hunt cryptids and such, and, you know, have explored the world, but they don't believe anything he's found. And this dude literally had hunted down the Nessie, you know?
Yes.
So they don't even believe in their own cause, basically.
No, yeah, they're like false wizards. Kind of like those guys on, what was it? Ooh, what am I thinking here? Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. Oh, false wizards. You guys think they're wizards? They're not wizards. Then they meet a real wizard. Then they're like, you guys are bullshit. And they just tell them to leave. Same story, more or less. Getting back to the Yetis, though. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah?
Yeti, Bigfoot, you know, it's all the same thing. It's an ape we can't find.
Mm-hmm.
Hide and seek champions.
Harry and the Hendersons was a movie I saw as a kid.
Yeah.
Okay. Takes place in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle East, I think.
Yep,
so.
the Seattle area.
I haven't seen it since I was a child. You know why? It's one of those movies that
Probably filmed in Canada, though, maybe.
Probably.
no matter what, you know, characters in the movie or what's the theme of the movie, any movie that, ever since I was a kid, any movie that's entire focus is about just stressful, messy situation after stressful, messy situation over and over and over, stressed me out my whole life. So seeing this Bigfoot in these people's home and messing it all up and breaking stuff stressed me out as a kid. I actually hated that. I also hated Homeward Bound for that reason. Like, just get these freaking animals home. It's so stressful. Even to this day, I don't think I can rewatch that one, but...
Okay, so real quick aside on Homeward Bound, that movie sucks ass. I do not care for talking babies, talking animal movies, none of that
They
shit.
don't talk.
In Homeward Bound?
They don't talk.
Yeah, they do. They're voiced over. They're dubbed. Homeward Bound?
That's how long it's been since I've seen it.
Jesus.
Wait, no, but the mouths don't move of the
No, but they are
like talk over.
they are portrayed to be speaking to each other.
Okay, got it. Okay, because my memory of that movie is like it's like a silent film with music, basically.
I would rather see that.
Okay.
I bet it would have been way better that
Like
way.
the cigarette lighting the grass on fire and everything.
Yes.
Come on. It's too stressful. I'm young. I got so many problems already. Like, I don't want to watch this.
Take the Amelie route, people. Don't make your animals or babies talk. Don't do it.
Okay, all right. Now, I do have to say, because of Grimmhauser's review of Harry and the Hendersons, all I did was watch the trailer, and for 1987, for probably a medium budget movie, and I didn't even know the movie came out. I thought the costume was actually pretty good.
Surprisingly, and
Yeah.
it was not Jim Henson. It was some other random guy whose name I don't remember. And let me tell you, well done, sir. Whoever you are, well done.
There's a brilliant Marlon Brando quote. I believe it was in reference to Jim Henson, who I think he worked with on a movie. And Marlon Brando was so obtuse that he told Henson, he's Henson's puppet guy, right?
I know, yeah.
He
But,
says-
so I'm
he
trying to
says-
think.
He said, I think it might have been the score with
Oh,
De Niro and Norton.
okay, because I was getting a real, like, the Frog Father? Like, what happened here? Was it like a...
But it might not have been that. I have no idea. Anyone can correct me on that. But the quote was so brilliant. He said, told Henson that you're not going to shove your hand up my ass and make me do what you want. So I thought that was just brilliant, you know.
That's epic.
Yeah. But so Harry and the Hendersons, I just remember the series, the TV series, which I thought was terrible. And I thought it was another one of those situations where you're taking a relatively serious subject and you're making it silly, you know?
Yeah, I mean, as serious as an ape none of us can find is.
Yeah, I
Right.
suppose.
Yeah. Okay.
But some of the latest theories on what Bigfoot is, these are the latest ones. Coast to Coast had a show on it not too long ago, and I don't know the exact show. But,
Space Ghost?
No, Coast to Coast with George Norrie. George Norrie was saying something that to the effect that Bigfoot, or his guest was saying, Bigfoot is not an ape. Bigfoot is a human, and just a different type of human.
What?
And yeah, that's one of the latest
Closer
theories.
to a Neanderthal.
Oh, yeah, good point,
Can I
good point.
say it?
But not even that. It was just a different a subspecies of human being is something from the latest DNA extracted from hair samples.
So not some species caught between the changes of evolution.
No,
from
not a
ape to man.
Neanderthal, not a Cro-Magnon.
How do you
anything like
how do
that.
you know though? Because they haven't ever found or tested anybody in between evolution stages.
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, there are some people I've met where I'd have to question,
To be honest, yes, I get that.
but
Yeah, so it's very interesting on these latest theories. So this episode of the Erich Andreas Unexplained is brought to you by, you guessed it, Hamburger Helper. Help your hamburger make a great meal.
let me tell you, you do not need to run down a Bigfoot to make this shit. It's easy as hell. Add a little corn, good to go.
Okay.
In these trying economic times, aren't you glad there's a cheap way to feed your ungrateful family like this schmuck here? Pick up a box of delicious Hamburger Helper. 9 delicious ways to fight off inflation.
Back to 1967. Great year.
I thought you were I'm so sorry. I thought you were implying that Hamburger Helper looks like the guts of if you ran over a Bigfoot, and I think that would be true.
I did not think about that, but yeah. I'm gonna say yeah, Bigfoot intestines. That little hand, you can't trust that motherfucker. That's 4 fingers.
Oh my!
4 fingers.
That's a hypocrisy.
Shit's heresy, son.
Yeah, we are.
Heresy. That's the word.
So, back to 1967, the Patterson Gimlin film, 1967. When I was done negotiating that coral reef, that film came out in October, filmed in Northern California. And the Patterson Gimlin film is either the greatest hoax of the 20th century, or it is a legitimate piece of cryptid footage. And our thoughts on that film. Skeptics first, I
Footage,
say.
right?
Yeah.
It's not a film, right? It's a footage.
It's a film. It's footage on
Is
a
it
film.
from a
How
documentary?
long is it?
No.
How long is it?
The film?
Yeah.
13 seconds, perhaps.
I'm gonna call it a short film at best.
Okay. Well, it wasn't filmed on a... it was filmed with film.
What's the quality of this film, you say?
No, it's in the late 60s.
Okay.
Decent.
So this is of Loch Ness quality, it sounds like. So I'm gonna have to say bullshit, probably, but you never know.
Okay.
What say
All right.
you?
I agree. I watched the film footage. Okay, I watched the footage, and I mean, it does look pretty good. If it was in a movie or something, I would think that looks pretty good. They did a good job. I just don't think it's real. I don't think it's real. I think it's a person wearing a suit.
What say you, good sir?
Well, the Erich Andreas Unexplained host says 100% real. So not only do I believe it's real, I do believe that, as so many experts in so many different fields have said, and a lot of people have debunked this or attempted to debunk it, that you cannot replicate the muscularity and the contortions of that muscularity with an ape suit. or a fursuit. It's just not possible at that time because they could not do it. There's a brilliant quote from a one Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum, a professor of anthropology and anatomy, and he said something to the effect of, "It's very easy to say that it's a man in a fursuit, obviously, until you put it up against an actual man in a fursuit. You know, the stride, the walk, the gait, everything
He did walk
about
with a
this.
heaviness. It did look believable that he was that
The
heavy.
length of the arms. However, there was a chap that came out in I believe 2007, the next door neighbor of Gilman, who said that he was commissioned, never paid, but commissioned to dress up in the suit, and he has all of this conflicting supposed testimony that it was faked. There are so many independent researchers that have looked at this and saying they're not going to conclusively say this is a Sasquatch, but they're going to say this is not a fake footage reenactment of a Bigfoot. Yeah.
The one issue I have with all this is, if for a second you believe it is not Cro-Magnon nor Neanderthal, and it is in the ape family at all, they have no reason whatsoever to walk upright. No reason.
But they're bipeds.
Yeah. Okay, so why are they walking upright? Like, why though? What's the reason for that? You have to think about that because everything in the ape family never had a reason to walk upright. The reason we did it.
Well, they had 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, getting deep on me. Oh, all the same, I have to stick by it. Unless you are Sam Losko, you do not walk, you don't walk upright. There is no way. Like, think about this. Apes have longer arms for a reason, so they can kneel down on those knuckles and go fast. And also because apes don't punch people, they smash people. Because they're smarter than we are, but they don't break their knuckles. That's my argument. That's it.
Okay. All right.
It's simple, but I stick by that shit.
Okay. Yeah, I have to be the odd man out. I do believe it's 100% real.
Damn.
And yeah, no, I just no. I understand that, but it's just that specific footage is far too convincing. When you start getting into the backstory with Patterson and Gilman, there's a lot of fishy stuff. There really is. And I understand all that. And I've heard the majority of the arguments against it. I've heard the fact that they both had different stories on what they did with the film after they acquired the film. But there's a specific interview with Gilman because Patterson died in 1971, I believe. And Gilman, I believe, he's in his mid to late 80s and very lucid, very convincing. Doesn't mean he's telling the truth, but I have to go with a 2 thumbs up on this one. I really do.
True tale.
True tale, yeah.
Festering fable.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say.
Hold on.
So,
Does he have a British accent?
no, he does not.
I might trust him slightly. But an old man with a British accent, he's a villain or he's a liar? You tell me.
Well, that's the thing about it is when you say British accent, we have to talk regional accent. Where is he from in the United Kingdom? Because that would determine, villain.
Oh, if he speaks Cockney, I can't understand him, so I don't have to tell you.
All right. Well, the Northerners, a lot of the Northerners, what would we put them into a villainous category as far as their accents are concerned?
Yeah.
Theatrical. So I don't know. Or an innocent role, perhaps, but that's it's a different story. Yeah, regional accents are fun. All right. No, but okay, well, that's interesting. So, the Patterson Gimlin film or short,
Okay.
True Tale or Festering Fable. Let's get an official thumbs up or thumbs down on this.
Festering fable. I agree.
Festering Fable.
That shit's rotten, bro.
All right. Patterson Gimlin film, True Tale, 100%. 2.
I bet you it's Ray in a suit. I bet it's Ray in a suit.
Speaking of, Is Ray calling in on this show today?
Ray is calling in on the show.
Motherfuck.
Well, and he's been waiting to, and he's been waiting a long time. So, so Ray Casper is here. Hopefully, maybe he'll have some insight.
Insight.
Okay, don't count on it though.
Hey, Andreas.
Hello.
You sound like you have a cold.
Yes, I do. A small one.
Funny thing, me too. Anyway, Andreas, I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for letting me do the voiceovers on all the retro commercials.
Oh, well, that's an interesting change. You're welcome.
And I suppose I also want to thank you for letting me co-host the big show.
Well, I wouldn't call a small segment of yours a co-hosting role. You know.
You ungrateful Mongoloid, Mongolian. My show, mine. Hey, Andreas, do you think Monique would like to smell the urine from a skunk game?
See, this dude hasn't evolved yet.
Urine, skunk game.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you.
Yeah, I know you're right. There are many cases of people in between evolution still, and they're walking amongst us and calling in apparently on the show. Yeah, Ray, I understand he is Mongolian, but that doesn't give you a reason to use that in sort of a derogatory way. I don't like that. I don't talk about the skunk ape. That's nothing I want to talk about.
It's all
Ray.
he understands.
Yeah, that's nasty.
Okay, so just clarify, I'm not Mongolian.
Yes, you are.
Oh, so speaking of disappearances on Christmas, Michaela and I actually spent Christmas Day in Mount Rainier National Park, National Forest, and we probably went for a slight hike on Christmas Day, and I would say we probably went about an hour and a half into the interior, and not too far in. You know, we were careful about staying on trail. And we actually, the last video, which you should be able to see up here or over here, wherever we put it, be our little expedition. And we were not necessarily in search of Sasquatch, but I don't know.
Yeah, you know, I would say, yeah, we actually did go off trail a couple times. You don't have to hide it. Yes, you should. You don't have to hide just because we're on camera. We want to be safe. We did go off trail. And there were a few weird things because the road driving up all the way to the top of the mountain was not fully accessible. They blocked it off at a certain point because they were expecting a blizzard, a winter storm, as it is winter. So, but because we were hiking in that direction, we got to walk around in the area where that road is, that winding road in between the woods. And because there were no cars coming up, it was extremely quiet. Eerily so.
Eerily, very.
And I could hear a pin drop. I could also hear odd animal noises that I'm not accustomed to.
Oh.
There's a lot of wildlife on Mount Rainier, but I'm not quite sure what it is that I heard. So when we were walking towards the first waterfall that we saw, that's a stretch. It's a little river. But when we were walking toward the mini waterfall, it got very quiet around that area because it was just enclosed in trees, and we started stepping down near it. And I would figure that, you know, animals would kind of stay near the water typically so they could survive. Mm-hmm. And that is when I started hearing the odd sounds of the little creatures. But we were just keeping our eyes open for any oddities. And,
yes,
you know, we're going to visit again probably in a nicer weather when we can go further.
We did break the David Paulides rule, which is, well, a few of the rules, which is he says do not go out into the wilderness, especially in these specific regions where disappearances have occurred, especially, you know, recent ones. And Mount Rainier is replete with disappearances. Paulides says you do not go into the wilderness alone. We weren't alone. Unarmed. I was armed. but without a tracking device and without informing everyone else where you're going. We didn't tell anyone else where we were going, and I did not have a tracking device. Mobile phones are usually useless, but yeah, it was a nice little outing. You know, the footage we did was it's more silly than anything else, but we went further in than we should have gone, and we were probably ill prepared for the elements as well.
Did you go further than any man had ever gone before?
Not on Christmas. Yeah.
Well, them's the breaks.
Them's the breaks. Exactly. So, skunk ape.
The skunk ape.
Yeah, and I'm not referring to that girl I knew in Philadelphia, the skunk ape or the Florida Everglades. Southeastern United States, mainly the skunk ape, Sasquatch related, the name given because of the pungent odor. You know, combine that with the humidity of the Everglades in those southern eastern states, and you have this creature that the bedtime stories, brilliant channel, bedtime stories. They had an episode on that. On the skunk ape, but I think they were featuring it in a different version of it in South Carolina. But vicious monster, yeah. Hoax as well.
I don't think it's somebody just ran into a gator, but like was drunk as fuck.
A gator. I mean, not only do you have a disturbingly aggressive beast of an animal, like an angry ape, but then it also smells like a skunk. That reminds me of my older brother when I was...
Whoa.
Yeah.
One of the more fascinating cryptid biped creatures, which I find really fascinating, is the Chinese Yerman, or is it Yerman? How's it pronounced?
Yerman?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm even pronouncing it. Yeah, urine. Yeah, sorry, urine. Thinking of David Yerman, the luxury boutique. Yeah, urine. And the thing about it is, it's a red-haired Sasquatch or Yeti that lives in the Chinese wilderness. And the Chinese and the Russians, from what I understand, the government and the military will actually go on expeditions attempting to research these creatures. Unlike the American government, who conceals and hides everything.
They're no fun.
Yeah, they are no fun. And the Chinese government is very serious about research of the urine, and they believe in its existence 100%. And it's a fascinating thing with the urine, and even I would say more fascinating than the Sasquatch. However, I'm not familiar with any disappearances associated or directly associated with the urine or the Yeti in the Russian regions, aside from the Dilafel Pass.
Not sure.
Dilafel Pass. What's the Falafel Pass? Dilaf Pass. What's it called?
Falafel Pass.
Yeah.
We'll just call it Peroski Pass for now.
Okay, yeah, because I want to do a episode on that as well. That incident, but these countries are much more serious about it. You know, much more serious about it than the U.S.
They have fun.
Yeah. So okay.
I don't know. Like, if you think about it, guys, they're serious about it because with Russia and China, there is safety in numbers, people, and they know that. Think about it.
All right, there we go. So, Ray called back. Son of a bitch. Ray Casper, go.
Yes, once and for all, I want you to tell the viewing audience here on the AM where the hell you're from anyway. You talk funny.
Nowhere special, Ray, or Yeah, nowhere special.
Well, I might tell you that I know for a fact where you're from, and you're from that Mongolia. I know it. That private second-class Grimmhauser and I were stationed in the port of Ningpo.
So was your mom.
Look just like those Mongoloid Mongolian comfort bras, and we used to get them all liquored up.
I was not part of that, sir.
Hey, tell Grimmhauser about those Mungo broads.
You lie.
Is that true?
No, he lies.
You said you went and got
He fucks pumpkins, I fuck ladies. I don't know what's going on here.
Zimmy Grimmhauser, what you two, the big shots, don't like some flatted stuff on occasion? Hello?
Sorry, Ray, gotta go.
Check off.
So, you were, was it Ningpo? What's Ningpo?
I don't know what Ningpo is either. He's just making shit up at this point. He doesn't care what it is. He doesn't know.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were no naval bases in China or anything that sounds like Ningpo.
No, yeah, but did the boat, the ship, dock there?
No. I don't know what the hell Ningpo is. He's just making...
Well, he says in China. I think he says in China.
There is no naval bases in China. There's no military bases in China at all of American stock. They wouldn't allow it.
Then what were you and him doing in Ningpo?
We weren't there. He's just imagining shit that's not real.
Okay.
For all we know, it could have been you with him.
Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
When are you gonna acknowledge that this fucking guy, he's crazy. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
You're getting a little too defensive.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry,
I have to
Sydney.
say.
It's revealing. It's a bit revealing, Blake. I'm just saying.
After you left last week, or was it the week before? Yeah, last week.
Who knows?
Last episode. No. And we were discussing it that I would actually suspect that Ray Casper is what I said was a come on. He was a manufactured character. And if you had to serve with him, I would have think that there's something funny here.
He's still a character.
Yeah, he's a character, all right. But no, so I suppose if I was retired and I was in my late 70s, I think he's probably in his early 80s. He says he's 77.
Who knows?
That I would probably, and I had nothing to do, and I had lost my wife, and I was looking to exact some vengeance on my previous co-workers. I could sit around all day making up all kinds of stuff. So I will say that, but...
Well, what I will say, sir, is Ray, fucking bring it, son.
Well... The thing about it is, I will still recommend Ray Casper's...
Bring the thunder, sir.
Ray Casper's channel, because I think it's humorous at the least, because it's... I don't know. You tell me.
I don't either. Obviously, you enjoy his company. You like what he has to say, but I can tell you that man is a monster.
Well, the thing... I'm sorry. I'm slightly under the weather. Ray Casper is filler. He's comedic relief. Well, he's relief either way, but yeah. So I don't know. I don't really know, but I will.
Thank you for coming in to the Ray Casper Show here on DVM. And if you want to see a real show, come on over to the Ray Casper Show. Hello, I'm Ray Casper. Grimmhauser and Andreas can go ahead and they can play blind man's buff dancing pumps with each other's fingers, but not on my show. Hello, I'm Ray Casper.
Play with your mom first, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
Dirty Chinaman.
So he even got the quote wrong. The quote is from Sharp's Rifles, and it's blind man's bluff dancing pumps. He got it wrong, but either way.
He gets everything wrong.
All right.
Start quoting Paps, you motherfucker. Let's see what you can do.
And let me tell you, speaking of he gets everything wrong, I've been tuning into your show, Ray, and I used to be a bigger fan of yours. Now it's fading away. I heard the way you talked about Mabel, the late Mabel. Talking about how much of a nag she is and whatnot. After her death,
Well, his wife? His wife?
His late wife.
Yeah.
His late wife, Mabel. So, I don't know. He's a...
Maybe it's
unbelievable.
Maybelline. I don't know.
Maybe it is Maybelline, honey. All we can do is pray for him.
What'd he say? What'd he say? Because I listen to the show.
I told you he called her a nag.
I put
He
it on
said-
fast forward though.
I told you. He's calling her nag, made his life hell.
That sounds right, like as far as a relationship, but I don't know what to say after that.
Well, I did hear him call her a ball breaker. I did hear that, but what I do is I put his show on fast forward.
A ball breaker, that's a level below ball buster, just so you all know.
Okay.
A ball breaker is acceptable in your life. A ball buster, be careful.
All right. All
Bucket
right.
buster.
That's right.
Well, thanks, Ray. Thank you. I think we've had our fill of the Ray Casper show.
I'll help you guys, sir.
Starring Ray Casper. He's Ray Casper. Why is he repeating it? He spell his name over
It's
and
like,
over.
he says his name like it's his title. You know, I mean, I remember back in the day, we were at a bar, and this is not in Punong, it is Denong.
Poo.
He probably was thinking of getting Punong, for all I know. But he was like, oh, yeah, Andre, you know, yeah, oh. Yeah, Grimmhauser, go get down there. Go find those ladies for me, you know, those lady boys. And I was like, that's the wrong country, sir. That's Thailand. He's like, oh, no, you can find lady boys anywhere if you try hard enough. And I was like,
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I cannot wait till the next show when he calls it with the rebuttal to this. Unbelievable.
well, you know, sir, you fuck lady boys, and it had nothing to do with me.
He didn't do that, did he? Oh boy.
He'll do
I
anything.
don't know.
He
I
fuck
don't.
pumpkins. He'll fuck anything.
I actually think that whole pumpkin bit was just a bit to get
It is-
you and the other guys going.
That is not a bit.
All right.
He fucked gourds. He pounded yams. What do I need to fucking say here?
No, I think we
I'm not making this shit
I
up.
think we got it. Jeez.
God, I have PTSD just from that.
All right. So anyway, Ray Casper, just
I think that's enough of
I
Ray
know, round
Casper
this
talk.
episode out that Ray Casper served with Blake Grimmhauser. They were both in the Navy together.
Sadly.
He was Ray Casper was Blake's senior officer, and Casper was always on Grimmhauser for all kinds of little things. Tried to put him on latrine duty, and ended up making him clean his stateroom or something like that.
Well, yeah, because then he fucking figured out that there aren't latrines on a ship.
Okay, I don't know that.
He's like, no,
Yeah.
fucking this guy. Casper's an idiot. I'll tell you now, you are an idiot, motherfucker.
Cheers.
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 Salute. So enough of the Ray Casper gossip. That's
Please.
That's gonna come back on me. I can guarantee it. However, thank you for tuning into the Erich Andreas Unexplained, and we like to extend this opportunity once again to like and subscribe, and we will be hopefully releasing another episode within a week's time. Yes. And Natasha L. is going to be back on her big appearance, and she is going to be going over her torrid tale of what happened to her over the Christmas holiday in Salzburg, being accosted by the Krampus. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. And as we like to say on the Erich Andreas Unexplained,
You know what they say about cryptids with big feet?
what? Okay. Yeah, I'm a little slow on that stuff sometimes. All right, 2 thumbs up and the peace out. Whatever the hell that means.